You know, I know real power when I see it. Divine Nine. We're honored to have presidents, all the presidents here tonight. And I want to thank them. And by the way, you know, I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid. I know where the power is. I know where you think I'm joking. I learned a long time ago about the Divine Nine. That's why I spent so much time at Delaware State campaigning and organizing my campaign in Delaware. We see the vibrancy of black culture and history enriching all of America. All of America. History that can't be buried because it lives in the soul of this nation. It's who we are. It's who we are. It matters. As the gospel song sings, we've come too far from where we started. Nobody told me the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. Folks, I don't think the good Lord brought us anybody this far to leave us behind. We just have to remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's nothing beyond our capacity. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So happy Black History Month. May God bless you all.
John, on the Department of Energy's findings, the lab leak most likely caused the pandemic. How should Americans understand China's response here, saying that this is politically motivated, it's a lie, there's no science to back it, and swatting down this information?
Well, I can't speak for the Chinese, and I wouldn't endeavor to do that. But just let me back up a little bit. The president made trying to find the origins of COVID a priority right when he came into office. And he's got a whole of government effort designed to do that. There is not a consensus right now in the U.S. government about exactly how COVID started. That work is still ongoing. But the president believes it's really important that we continue that work and that we find out as best we can how it started so that we can better prevent a future pandemic. I mean, that's the idea here, is to get ahead of it so that, you know, should there be another one, or should there even be the signs of another one, we can better get ahead of it.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has ratcheted up his feud with Disney. DeSantis on Monday signed a bill that effectively gives him more power over Florida's Walt Disney World, stripping the country's largest theme park of a degree of autonomy it has enjoyed for 50 years.
So Disney loses self-governing status. The state of Florida is the new sheriff in town.
The new law gives Florida's state government control over a region around the Orlando area theme park, and is seen by political observers as a slap in the face after Disney opposed the state's so-called Don't Say Gay law. The area will now be controlled by a board of 5 supervisors appointed by DeSantis, who will oversee traditional municipal services, such as fire protection, public utilities, waste collection, and road maintenance. The quasi-government entity also has the authority to raise taxes for Disney World to pay outstanding debt and cover the cost of services.
And this bill and the structure that we've created in this bill will ensure that the municipal debt that's been racked up will be paid by Disney, not by Florida taxpayers.
The move is largely viewed by political observers as retaliation for Disney's objection to a law signed by DeSantis last March that restricts classroom discussion of gender and sexual orientation, dubbed Don't Say Gay by opponents. Disney World is the largest employer in Central Florida with close to 75,000 employees and drew over 36 million visitors in 2021, according to the Themed Entertainment Association. Disney shares were up in Monday trading. A spokesperson for the entertainment company did not immediately respond to a request for comment.
The U.S. has plans to put hundreds of thousands of new charging stations across the country to meet the expected surge in electric vehicles hitting the roads, the biggest transformation of the U.S. consumer driving landscape in generations. The Biden administration has earmarked $7.5 billion to build the network, aiming for 500,000 stations covering some 75,000 miles of the busiest interstates and roadways. The massive investment in the EV charging stations is a major component of the Democratic president's climate policy and his goal of seeing EVs make up half of all vehicle sales in the U.S. by 2030. $1.5 billion of the $7.5 billion to fund the charging network will head to states this year. Companies like ChargePoint Holdings, EVgo, and Tesla are expected to do battle for the cash. The stations need to be universal, serving all EV models. The stations could also anchor new retail. Charging an electric car can take 20 to 40 minutes, and state surveys show consumers want amenities such as manicures, food, and even showers while they wait. Ohio is among the only states that have already begun seeking proposals. Officials told Reuters the Buckeye State has received 167 site proposals from 30 different firms. While some Republican governors, such as Florida's Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott of Texas, have accused Democrats of reckless spending on green energy projects, state applications show they have welcomed the federal dollars to build out their EV networks. Florida, which lags only California in terms of electric vehicles and high-speed chargers, told the administration that under a moderate growth scenario, officials expect at least 20% of vehicles in the state to be electric by 2040.
Following reports that the U.S. Energy Department concluded that the COVID-19 pandemic likely arose from a leak at a Chinese laboratory, the U.S. Ambassador to China, Nicholas Burns, on Monday said Beijing needed to be more honest about the origins of the deadly virus.
If we're going to do something to strengthen the World Health Organization, then we're going to have to push China to be more active in it and to, of course, be more honest about what happened 3 years ago in Wuhan with the origin of the COVID-19 crisis.
Those words, spoken by video link at a U.S. Chamber of Commerce event, come after the Wall Street Journal reported that the Department of Energy made what it described as a low-confidence judgment in a classified intelligence report that COVID-19 likely arose from a Chinese lab. China flatly denies that assessment. Asked to comment on the report, China's foreign ministry referred to a WHO China report that pointed to a natural origin, likely from bats rather than a lab leak. Dr. Michael Osterholm is the director of the Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy at the University of Minnesota.
Could it have been a spillover event from animals into humans directly? Could it have been a potential virus in the lab that unintentionally infected workers there that then spread it? We'll never know. We have to assume that both possibilities are real, and we have to plan for the future.
There is not a consensus right now in the U.S. government about exactly how COVID started.
White House National Security spokesman John Kirby on Monday faced questions about the reports.
I would add that one of the things the president did was he's the one who tasked the national labs, which report up through the Department of Energy, to study this as well. So it wasn't just an effort that was confined to the intelligence community. That work is still ongoing.
The Energy Department did not respond to a request for comment.